Security Committee and the Senate's National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations Committee. Kanja admitted gaps in the police response to the invasion of Parliament on June 25th, vowing to take measures to secure critical installments if he is appointed. Now, and Muriel Adhiambo now reports the career police officer has promised sweeping reforms in the police service, proposing the use of technology to stem corruption.
For 39 years. 39 years.
The nominee for Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, today detailed his 39 years of service in the police force before a joint sitting of the National Assembly Committee on Administration and Internal Security and the Senate Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations, as he sought to prove that he is fit for the role.
What would you do?
Kanja promised to implement a court order issued by the High Court yesterday, directing the Inspector General of Police to ensure that officers wear name tags and display their service numbers, following concerns over their conduct during the recent youth-led protests.
On 21st July last year, people not uniformed went into Kisumu in the night, and you saw the number of people they killed. All male persons they pulled from houses in Nyalenda and Nyamasaria were all shot, either in the head, the heart, or in their genital areas. And of course, the excuse the police have is that without the uniform, we cannot know who they are. So the manner in which the police should be dressed while in operation or action is something we need to hear specifically from you, how you want to address it.
We want an accountable police service. So mine is to ensure that even when we are going for our deployment, whatever kind of deployment, be it to control those kind of demonstrations, be it other operations, the necessary uniforms that are supposed to be worn will have to be put on.
Kanja was also at pains to defend the police response to the breach of Parliament during the protest on June 25th and the use of live bullets on protesters.
Were you pleased, IG nominee, with the invasion of Parliament?
No, that was one of the lowest moments in my life.
Official figures from the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights indicate that at least 60 people were killed during the recent protests.
It is also reported that most of those dead people were unharmed and only had telephone sets in their hands.
The IG, through the Internal Affairs Unit, can also be able to order investigations to look into those very serious allegations of the violations of the rights of the people. This is an area that we cannot allow anyone to come around joking around with this Parliament. So for me, I will do whatever it takes to ensure that this Parliament is safe and secure.
Also of interest to the committee was the matter of corruption in the police force, which Kanja has proposed to address through the use of body cameras and the implementation of the reforms proposed in the Moraga Police Task Force report. According to a 2023 survey by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the National Police Service is one of 3 institutions most prone to bribery.
Adoption of technology is a key priority because, as I said from the word go, the service has actually been left behind. It has actually been lagging behind on matters technology.
President William Ruto nominated Kanja to the IG position on July 25th, following the resignation of Japhet Koome amid concerns over police brutality at the height of the recent youth-led protests. The committees will now retreat to prepare their report, which will be tabled for adoption on Monday next week.
Same venue.
Muriel Adhiambo, K24 TV, Nairobi.
From matters security to matters health, now Kenyans should expect WhatsApp notifications, field activations and interventions by national government administration officers as the Social Health Authority intensifies its campaign to register citizens with the National Health Insurer. Currently, just over 500,000 households have signed up with the authority, which is set to officially begin operation on October 1st. Here is Ben Kirira with more.
Nairobi and Kiambu counties lead in registrations on Social Health Authority, which began on July 1st, 2024, a trend attributed to better internet connectivity and a higher prevalence of chronic conditions.
We have higher incidence of cancers and many of these conditions.
So when people go into hospital, they want to make sure they are registered to continue accessing care for chronic conditions.
Despite progress, the authority has raised concerns on low registration rates in Homa Bay, Migori and Lamu counties.
Many of them, because we've tried to probe, are asking why do we have to register again, and we're already members of NHIF. NHIF data had gaps here and here because for some people you would not find ID numbers. Other people you couldn't find one side biometrics or something. So we would like complete, clean data.
Elijah Wachira, acting CEO of the Social Health Authority, emphasized that the ongoing registration process is crucial for tailoring healthcare services to the specific needs of each region.
We are able to classify them and to cluster them into regions because in health, each region has a different disease profile.
Notably, of the households registered, around 300,000 have declared unemployment, qualifying them for government assistance in paying their healthcare insurance contributions.
We shall give them a list of partners with whom we shall have signed MOUs, and then they can get the loan from any of the partners and pay in installments depending on the inflows of the income.
The Social Health Authority will offer services not currently covered by the Standard National Health Insurance Fund plan, including eye care, dental care, and assistive devices like crutches.
When you go to a primary health care facility, all service will be available and will be free. NHIF, for your information, would pay for up to 2 dialysis sessions per week. This time, we shall pay for the number that is recommended by your doctor.
However, Wachira acknowledged the underfunding of the Primary Healthcare Fund and the Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund in the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
We've had engagements with Treasury, and they appreciate the need for us to offer this service. And we have assurances that as need arises, we shall get top-ups in supplementary budgets.
Kenyans are to this end being encouraged to fully embrace the new authority, which promises to deliver quality and affordable healthcare services. Ben Kerera, K24, Nairobi.
Now, the Kenya Aviation Workers Union is considering calling off its strike notice after a meeting scheduled with the new Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Davis Chirchir, next Tuesday. Nakau Secretary General Mos Ndiema stated that representatives will consult with other workers before deciding whether to uphold or withdraw the strike notice against the Kenya Airports Authority and the Kenya Airways Management. As Mariam Mjahid reports, the potential strike stems from disputes over a government plan to partner with a private firm for airport operations and expansion.
Cabinet Secretary for Labour Alfred Mutua met with Kenya Aviation Workers Union officials to discuss the issues that led to the aviation workers umbrella issuing a 7-day strike notice which could impact airport operations across the country. 1 week into his role, CS Mutua has urged the Kenya aviation workers to engage in dialogue with the new transport CS, Davis Chirchir, before proceeding with the strike.
Tumekubaliana ya kwamba ni vizuri waziri huyu mpya ambaye ameingia ofisi jana, hata bado hajaangalia hizo files, hajaangalia matatizo, hajui mikakati imeanzia wapi inaenda wapi, tumpe nafasi aweze kusoma na kuelewa, ndio wakutane na yeye waweze kumuelezea as part of his induction into the ministry, alafu weze kuamua badala ya kwenda kwa mgomo na waziri mpya hajui hata kile ambacho kinaendelea. Wiki inayokuja Jumanne, Tuesday, nimewapangia mkutano waweze kukutana na waziri wa mambo ya transport, uchukuzi, waweze kusikizana alafu wataweza kuendelea.
The aviation lobby group led by KAU Secretary General Mos Ndiema has confirmed that they will consult widely before making a final decision on whether to uphold or withdraw the strike notice.
We acknowledge that Mr. Chirchir just took over the ministry yesterday, and maybe our issue should be among the first issues that he has to deal with. So we are willing to go and convene a meeting urgently and then get directions from our members. But in principle, we are willing to give the issue a chance someday. I mean, to give a dialogue a chance. We are willing and open to that.
The controversial deal with Adani has sparked public outcry, leading to the Occupy JKIA protest on July 23rd, although Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi later clarified that the proposal is still under review. The union remains cautious, insisting on full disclosure and fair negotiations.
We have the issue of Adani, where our demand is it cannot be done secretly. We are not just part of Kenya, we are stakeholders. Our members are investing their time and energy at Kenya Airport, at JKIA, and in all other airports every day. So we cannot be wished away.
The union is also calling for the resignation of top officials at Kenya Airport Authority and Kenya Airways.
The government appreciates it's a problem of management at both KAA and KQ. We have some roguish elements within management. We are asking the government to address. As a union, we are determined that we will not allow them to stay there a day longer. We will not allow them.
There is a big gap in communication between the management and the employees, between the government and the employees about the contracts and what is going on.
As Tuesday's meeting approaches, the aviation industry holds its breath, awaiting the outcome that could either diffuse the tension or escalate it into a full-blown strike. Mariam Jahid, K24, Nairobi.
All right, that story by Mariam Jahi takes us to our second break here on K24 Evening Edition. Continue engaging us. We'll be sampling your feedback as we continue with the program tonight. We'll take a break. We will be back in a few.
Back to the future. The future is Simulate.